Hey, what's up everybody, it's SuperJew911 here. This is going to be a video where I talk about what my top 3 picks are for the next Total War, the big next historical title. So I know in a previous video I talked about that the next Total War was announced, Sagas, and I'm not talking about the little, because they're coming out with some littler games first that are like spin-offs to Rome 2 or Attila. This is going to be talking about the next big historical title. Just my top 3 picks, so this shouldn't be too long of a video. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Also, before I get started, this is going to be my last channel update. With fall comes school, and unfortunately I won't be able to get too many more videos out. So I really wanted to get this one out because I love the Total War franchise, obviously, and I just wanted to share what my thoughts were on what the next big Total War could be. So let me know what you think down in the comments below the next big title will be. Alright, and let's get started. Okay, so in a previous video I talked about how Creative Assembly made a statement about how they've had, they have more games in production than they've ever had. So it goes without saying that definitely while they are making their little title Saga, to Rome 2 and Attila or whatever other Total War, that they're definitely focused. They do have in mind a very big franchise, the next big title coming out. Okay, so my third idea would be a Great War Total War. Now, keep in mind, they said that the next big historical title is going to be something that they have never done before. So all these ideas that I have are going to be ones that they've never really touched on before. At least not, the regions that they've been. Well, that's not true because they're going to be in Europe. So of course, Great War would be in Europe. But my point is they're going to be in time periods they've never done before. So this is my first thoughts that they could do a Great War. Now you'll notice that there's the Great War mod. That's what you're looking at right now. But it was just a mod, and while it was a really great mod, mods can be unstable. So, and this isn't going to be me bashing any mods or anything like that. But it's just a fact. The mods can be very unstable. There's some really stable mods like the Third Age. There's some other mods that aren't as stable. I was able to get pretty far in the Great War, but that goes without saying. Like, it doesn't matter because the point is Creative Assembly has never done anything relating to the Great War. So I think that if they would go to the Great War, which, like I said, this is my third pick, I think it's totally possible because if you look at the Great War mod, the idea is all there. I mean, it's a great idea. It's a great everything. The concept is fantastic. I just think that the reason they might not do a Great War for the next big title is simply because of the technology. And if you play the Great War mod, I mean, it's a complete overhaul of Napoleon. I mean, they give you everything. But still, I mean, you've got machine guns, you've got tanks. I think if Creative Assembly could pull it off, it would be really freaking awesome. But I also think it's also so far in the future that there's a good chance that won't be the next big title. So that's my third pick. My second pick is an ancient China game. So what you're looking at right now is the Chu and Han Total War mod for Medieval 2. And I've personally never played it, but I've done some research on it. I've looked it up, and they really do overhaul, the entire map. So you are in ancient China. I think it takes place in like 200 BCE. And or something around that range. But anyway, it's something that Creative Assembly has never done. Of course, the closest they've gotten to that is Shogun. And there also might be other Chinese, overhaul mods out there. But if there are, I don't really know. But yeah, I mean, this is something they've never done before. I totally think it's plausible that they do that. I think it would be also really cool because China is a huge area, and any really time period they could have so many choices from. Well, probably more, the older time period than the newer. But this is definitely my second pick. I really think, honestly, that they could totally, throw that out of the hat. Or pick it out of the hat and be like, yes, this is what we're going to use, or this is what we're going to make. And of course, they're already making it one. So I would not be surprised if when they announced it I say they're going to probably announce the next big title in a year or so. Definitely at least give us like a teaser. I would totally be surprised if they wouldn't. And I would definitely not be surprised for them to announce that, hey, we're doing Ancient China. So definitely be sure to check out that mod if you're interested. Like I said, I haven't played it, but it looks cool. So on to my first pick. Now this is what I think they're definitely going to do. I'd be surprised if they didn't do this, but I've been wrong before. So my third pick is the Victorian era. Now, a lot of people have been asking for a Victorian era for a long time. I totally think that they could do that 100%. What you're looking at right now, of course, is the American Civil War mod for Empire. It's a really popular mod. Unfortunately, a lot of people have trouble with it, myself included. The time that I did have with it, like every other mod that's somewhat unstable, I had a blast. But still, and of course this isn't, the American Civil War doesn't embody the Victorian era, but it is a mod that takes place during the Victorian era, so it can't be overlooked. Now, also something else I'm kind of curious about if you're watching is, this is just something I'm curious about, is a lot of people want an American Civil War game from Creative Assembly. Now, I don't know if that's just an American thing, or if, people in Europe and Africa and Asia, if they want to see that too. So let me know in the comments below if you aren't from America, if you're like, yeah, that would be a cool idea, or if you're like, no, obviously we would want it to be a whole Victorian game. I'm just curious, I'm just curious about, what your thoughts on that would be. But my thought is, for my number one pick, is that it would be a whole Victorian, a war, kind of like Empire, but it would be the Victorian era, because there was still a lot of conquest, and I mean, the games are all bent on conquest, even if a lot of conquest wasn't necessarily happening at the time, even though all their games just there happens to be a lot of conquest. But the Victorian era did have its share, and it wasn't light on that by any means. So I definitely think that the next game, like 80%, I'm like 80% sure it's going to be Victorian era. I think it would be so cool because you could have that mix of guns and still, sword play, definitely still cavalry, like 100%. I think that would be so cool. It would just be a little bit of an upgrade from Napoleon Empire in terms of gunplay, not to like the revolutionary, like where the Great War mod is, for example. So these are my thoughts on what the next big historical title is going to be. So I think it could either be Great War, Ancient China, or definitely the Victorian era. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Again, I'm going to try to get as many videos out as I can for you before the fall starts. Also, I didn't mean like I'm never going to make a video during the fall. I'm definitely going to try to get videos out for you every now and then. The only thing that I can say probably won't happen as much are the Let's Plays, just because those do take a while, and they are pretty time consuming. But who knows, maybe I'll try to get to one or two. I know a lot of people like my Medieval Kingdoms and the Game of Thrones Let's Plays. I'll definitely try to get epic battles out for you every now and then, and maybe how to install videos. If, by the way, you do want to know how to install anything, or you're confused, I really didn't imagine that my Game of Thrones video would blow up the way it did, so that's really cool of you guys. I really appreciate all the support and the love that you guys have given, so I'll try to give it back the best I can. I know my videos aren't the best quality, but I try. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below this video. I hope you guys all have a great rest of the summer and a great fall, and I will see you next time.